across the West, and Mr. Polis knows this well too, we've had to live under this situation of absolutely devastating forest fires. Forest fires that have been caused in too many instances by a mismanagement by the Forest Service, a mismanagement by the federal government. And these bills, and in particular 1873, which is a bill that I'm honored to co-sponsor with Representative LaMalfa, will begin to impose the kind of common sense reforms that we need so that our power grid is no longer threatened by mismanagement of our federal forest service, of our federal forest lands. On our federally managed forests in Wyoming, when we have overgrowth around a power line, it's a direct risk to the people, the property, and the power grid, as well as to wildlife that those on the other side of the aisle claim to care so much about. Our local leaders understand this. Our local leaders are in the very best position to do something about this and to do it quickly. And that's why we put in place these provisions in these bills that will allow the local utilities, allow local officials to make the kinds of decisions that have to be made quickly. H.R. 1873 will allow our utilities to submit their own management facility inspection plans, their own operation and maintenance plans, and it will also ensure that our federal land managers have consistent and accountable policies to reduce hazards in electricity rights of way, including they themselves will be held accountable for managing the land. The bill does adjust the liability framework for these rights of way to ensure that the utilities and the federal government have the incentive to respond quickly and effectively to these hazards. Nobody in Wyoming or in any other state ought to feel that they have to go without affordable, reliable power, ought to feel that the power grid is threatened, simply because the federal government fails to do its job. We've simply seen that too much. Our local co-ops are willing and able to step up to the plate. Solving this problem is crucial to those who live in Wyoming, where bark beetle-killed trees and poorly managed overgrowth of federal forests pose true threats to the safety and health of our communities and to our power reliability. That's why, Mr. Speaker, H.R. 1873 is supported by the Wyoming Rural Electric Association, the Tri-State Generation and Transmission Association, the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association, Black Hills Energy, the Edison Electric Institute, the American Public Power Association, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the Western Governors Association, and many others who care so much about our lands out west. Wyoming supports this bill. Wyoming utility co-ops know best how to manage the provision of electricity and how to handle these rights of way, and also how to provide healthy and sustainable forest management as they do so. I request immediate passage of this bill, Mr. Speaker. It's hugely important that we get